Hello and welcome back once again. It is time for the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. It has been serving my coffee table ever since and is a constant source of comic book conversation, the kind we used to have in the comic book shop on any given Wednesday. And I miss that, and I seek to recreate that here, today, right now, with you. So thank you so much for tuning in. I am blessed and grateful. If you love comics as much as I do, you have found the right channel and the right time. And to be part of this conversation, you are a very important part of this conversation, especially if you leave a comment or a question. I would love to hear what's on your mind about today's content or any day's content or any day's subject or your own thoughts of anything comic books. So let's get to it. This is a 2004 Abrams Press book. It's written, curated by Geoff Spear, Chip Kidd, and Les Daniels. There is a link to the Amazon page in the description. If you want your own copy, it will look great on your coffee table, and it makes a great gift for a geek. I know. The golden age of DC Comics runs from 1938 to 1955, the Silver Age from 1956 until 1970, the Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby, from 1970 until 1985, and the Copper Age begins in 1985. And how are you doing today? I hope your day is pleasant and great and that you're meeting all your challenges and that you're able to forget your worries, even just for a few moments with some good fiction. And so why don't you just pull up a chair and grab a cuppa of your favorite coffee or tea or whatever it is. What goes great with a coffee table book and a coffee table conversation and some good coffee. This is Tanzanian peaberry. It's a wonderful bean. Very nice. And this is the time of the show where I get into something called the escapism caveat. Activism is very important. It's very needed. The world needs help. The people, the animals, and the trees in this world needs help and needs a voice. It's just that activism has a shadow and a dark side, that it's encroached itself into our fandom spaces, and it's using us and taking advantage and treating our fictions and our beloved stories as a platform to disseminate their message. Activism has its space, it has its place, but guess what? So does escapism. Escapism gives us the ability to leave behind this world's many problems, our interpersonal problems, our financial woes, our relationship problems, even ecological problems and social problems. We can leave them behind and inhabit a fictional world with our imaginations where we can be someone else. We can be a hero. We can be a villain. We can be in space fighting aliens with a laser sword. We can be a pirate on the high seas. We can lose ourselves with our home team watching some sports. And as I say, activism has its space and has its place, but does it really need to be encroaching in our spaces and our fandoms and then treating us like we're the enemy when we don't want to be hearing that all the time? I mean, seriously, I'm suffering from compassion fatigue. I'm finding it better to ignore the activists and to just enjoy some fiction for what it's worth. A bloody superhero tale, a person in a cape with heat vision, fighting evil and things such as that. It's not complicated. Only an asshole will continually rub your nose in something. And I mean, we're just trying to reach and teach you. Well, no, you're reaching, you're screeching and preaching. And I'm just so sick of it. I need a break from it. Don't you? Well, let's get back to it. And the purpose of this show and the book, it's a 365 days book. We go to today's date, which is July the 16th, and it's one of my oldest fictional friends. We're going to look at some comic book art. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So let's get to it. Today, we are looking at, and we're going to focus on, Robin the Boy Wonder. This is art by Jim Mooney from Star Spangled Stories number 129 from June of 1952. And look at this, the magic key. And as Two-Face said in Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, mentioned Robin the Boy Hostage. And Robin was often put into situations of peril in order to get Batman to save the day and save his young ward. Let's read the narrative caption. Got any keys in your pocket? Probably most have. Harmless little gadgets and very handy, except in the case of Robin the Boy Wonder, for the intrepid young lawman has his own ideas about keys as a result of the strange and exciting adventures that befall him on the trail of the magic key. Meanwhile, one evening in the sumptuous home of millionaire Bruce Wayne and his ward Dick Grayson, and you can see that in a clean gutter and another sequential panel that we're not seeing on this page. So let's read the blurb. And I hope you're having an awesome day. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is another of those weird splash panels that purports to symbolize the plot of the story, but you can be sure that no such scene actually appears in the subsequent pages. Apparently, this bizarre fate is the price that Robin pays for striking out on his own and appearing in a solo story without the benefit of Batman, who is conveniently out of town. Oddly enough, the magic key obviously does not fit that keyhole. Could the Boy Wonder have been roped in the hope that his Robin noggin will turn the tumblers? Oh, how clever indeed. Robin has been one of my favorite characters since I was a small child. Between the Super Friends, the Batman Filmation cartoon, and the Batman 66 live action show with Burt Ward playing Robin, I have been, I love Robin. I am Robin. I have a full-on Robin cosplay that I'm willing to break out for any of the upcoming comic book conventions. Seriously, let me wet my whistle. I've loved different iterations of Robin. Robin has evolved over the years to be not just a character, but a legacy and a mantle passed down from one teen hero to the next, in a series of Batman being a mentor. And this goes into something interpersonally for me, actually professionally, that I am a chef and I have accrued a series of muscle memory and of skill and a skill set and a feel for my trade, and that I'm getting, I'm of a certain age. I'm probably around that Batman age. And guess what? I have had the honor of being a mentor to many young chefs and to share with them my skill set and to share with them how to do this job. So Batman for me has been like a holistic Batman has been this role model for me, that I now get to be Batman to these Robins that I am pleased to work with and pleased to have an impact and show them all of my tricks and all of my skills so they can be the best chef that they can be as well. So Batman has always had this great impact on young people, so much so that they live and die for him and they carry his standard. And whether it's a Robin or a Batgirl or an orphan or a Signal, the list goes on and on. And there have been a few canonical Robins, and there has been Robin 1, Dick Grayson, Richard Grayson, the acrobat who lost his parents, who started the whole thing of kid sidekicks. And Detective Comics number 38, published in 1940, just 10 issues, almost a year after the premiere of Batman. He was given a kid sidekick, and that started the trend of kid sidekicks ever since. The second Robin was Jason Todd. He premiered in the early 80s. Then his origin was changed after something called the Crisis on Infinite Earths and the separation between the Bronze Age and the Copper Age. So there is a definite Bronze Age Jason Todd who's a little different than the current age, the Copper to current age Jason Todd. Then there is the third Robin, Tim Drake. It was a wonderful Robin. He is still Robin, and he is still doing his thing as the smartest teen detective in the world. There was Stephanie Brown, otherwise known as the Spoiler, and she inherited the mantle of Robin after Tim quit for a little while. She had a very short tenure and was and met with a bad ending that was retconned. She was killed by the Black Mask, but it was later shown that she wasn't really killed. Batman was led to believe she got killed. She got really badly injured, but it was to make Batman, hey, you have to watch out for these kids that you're mentoring. Don't be so reckless. And that's part of the point of Robin. And then there's another current Robin, Batman's son, his legitimate son with Talia al Ghul, daughter of Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, the demon's head of the League of Assassins, the League of Shadows, League of Assassins. And that's Damian Wayne, and he is a current Robin, about 13, 14 years old. There's also Carrie Kelly, the girl from Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. And a few of my other favorite Robin alternates have been this. In 1990, there was a computer-generated graphic novel, an original graphic novel called Digital Justice. It was done by Pepe Moreno, and it was set in the far future, in the late 21st century, where Commissioner Jim Gordon's grandson, also Jim Gordon, takes up the role of Batman in the late 21st century. He gets a Robin, too. That Robin's name was Robert Chang, and he had a black tunic and a hoverboard. And he was a really cool... I always loved seeing alternate Robins. There was also Robin 3000, which was set about in the far future in the year 3000, and that was Tom Wayne. And he was he had this great Robin suit that was green, and it was around the time of Chuck Dixon's Robin miniseries, which developed into starring Tim Drake, that evolved into an ongoing Robin title. That was an amazing magazine for any Batman fan. But Robin 3000 was really interesting. It's an Elseworlds. Elseworld is outside of continuity. And I just really dug that. There was also something called Robin 1 Million. It's set in the 853rd century. So figuring if Action Comics issue number 1 million were to be released at a monthly rate, it would be released in the 853rd century. So every comic was given the 1 million treatment. And there was Robin the Toy Wonder. See, by the 853rd century, the planet Pluto, or the dwarf planet Pluto, has become the solar system's prison planet. The Batman's family, his parents, were prison guards, and they were killed in an uprising. So Batman protects the planet Pluto, and he created a robot version, given the personality of himself at that age, to constantly remind him to not go too far in his cause for justice. So Robin the Toy Wonder is this great, snarky robot version with the classic Robin outfit. And I love that version of Robin. And what's your favorite version of Robin? Do you have a favorite version of Robin? Do you have a favorite teen sidekick or a kid sidekick? It used to be a great vehicle for kids to help inhabit this superhero world, to be represented in a superhero world. And you know what? We've been talking about the golden age of DC Comics, and we're going to be talking about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. We'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Thank you so much. I would love to earn your subscription. Please like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, ring that bell. I would love to be part of your YouTube day. I make daily content. I'm a professional chef. I share with you some cooking hacks for nutritious, delicious, and beautiful food. I am also known as the Sultan of Soup. I am an amateur theologian, an ordained minister, and a spiritual guy. We get spiritual on this station, and I talk about the power of gratitude and how it can help your daily life. We talk, so tune in. God bless. Namaste. Good luck, and we will see you in the funny pages tomorrow. Okay? Cheers. Bye bye.